What I still love the way that sounds. The champs get mandatory minicamp underway this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The first 2 days are open to the media. The last day is not. Joining us now, one of the best in the country when talking Rams football, Rams beat writer for The Athletic, Jourdan Rodrigue. Jourdan, so nice to have you on Extra Innings. Thank you for joining us. Rams just completed voluntary organized team activities, also known, of course, as OTAs. What and who stood out to you over these first couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. This is a team you've seen very publicly the fun that this team has had in taking sort of its victory lap as Super Bowl champions, and rightfully so. In my opinion, when you reach the mountaintop, you're due a little bit of relaxation time. But when you step into the facility and you actually go out on the field, to me, this team seems like you wouldn't even know these guys won the Super Bowl. And I think that's really interesting and really important because Sean McVay has been communicating internally to this group of coaches and players. You know, last year was last year. This group has not accomplished what it needs to accomplish in the year 2022. And you really do truly and genuinely get that sense. It's very smooth. And obviously, you know, Sean McVay is a perfectionist and there's going to be things to tweak every once in a while at practice and coaching and installation that happens. But it really feels remarkably cohesive for a group that honestly, I might have expected them to maybe be dealing with a little burnout because of such a short break in between when they ended their season and when now they're starting. And it really hasn't been like that. This group seems energized. They seem cohesive and ready to build upon what they accomplished in 2021 while also keeping 2022 a separate entity.
Very interesting, Jourdan. You know, Bobby Wagner kind of said the same thing to me the other day out there. He said, let's not be satisfied with what you guys have already accomplished. Okay, let's talk about the subject matter that's really gathered the most attention, I feel, from the moment the Super Bowl ended up until this very conversation that you and I are having right now. Aaron Donald. Here's my last conversation with AD on the field after the Rams won the Super Bowl with that big play he made on Cincinnati quarterback Joe Burrow. Basically, listen to this, what he had to say to me, and then we'll come back to it, Jourdan. There's all this, if Aaron wins, he's going to retire stuff. What's that all about, my man?
I'm just living in the moment. I've been blessed to play this game 8 years at a high level. This game's never promised, so to have an opportunity to play this so long and have success and, call myself a world champion. I'm just in the moment right now. I'm just gonna live in the moment right now at this point and enjoy this with my friends, my family, my teammates, and just be in the moment. That's about it.
So Jourdan, he is certainly living in the moment. We have not seen a new deal yet. Where does this whole thing sit right now between Aaron Donald and the Rams as we approach minicamp coming up?
Yeah, a lot has been sort of made about the deal and when this thing might happen. My understanding since about March is that this was always going to happen right around this time of year. I would expect that this thing gets done very, very soon. Aaron Donald is going to be at minicamp in the upcoming week. Sean McVay is expecting him at his wedding over this weekend. And so I think all signs point toward this thing getting done imminently. The other thing, though, part of it, though, was Aaron did really genuinely consider what it would be like to walk away. This has always been something that he's been aware of, his family has been aware of. He is so invested in his family. And on the contract side of it, the Rams always knew that something like this would come up if Aaron Donald did have the type of season at his age that he's capable of having. He signed a 6-year deal a few years ago, and about this time is when the guaranteed money in that deal starts falling off or falling out the bottom of the contract. So that's really where I think things are at right now. Everyone has been on the same page about this pretty much since day one. And the team was well aware that his consideration of retirement was a possibility. And it certainly has been an open conversation between him and the team, especially between himself and Sean McVay. But really all signs point toward the positive of Aaron coming back. And like I said, I do think this thing gets done pretty quickly.
All right, that's good to know for Rams fans, definitely, Jourdan, and for the team as well. Another news item that continues to linger is the free agency of Odell Beckham Jr. You know, when you read Rams social media, the constant question is, why hasn't OBJ signed? When is he going to sign? If we know he had the successful surgery on the same knee for the ACL, I guess everyone wants to know what is the latest and what's taking so long in this thing.
Yeah, the reason why it would take any amount of time, maybe longer than the typical free agency acquisition, is because he did suffer a major injury. Now, the Rams, though, have been very upfront and also, like, in a sort of rarely very public about the fact that they do want Odell Beckham back on this roster. Coaches, teammates, front office has been really, really public about that. And the sense right now is that a multi-year offer is on the table for Odell Beckham. This would factor in the fact, of course, that he is not expected to return until about November from that ACL. Getting him in the Rams facilities to rehab that injury is also, I think, something that would be important to the team if he were to be included back into the fold and re-signed. And then that contract would be heavily incentivized on the front end. And then on the back end, could offer a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more negotiation room. But the reason why it would take the time that it's taking right now is because it is right and fair for Odell, considering the season that he was having last year, considering he could have very well been the Super Bowl MVP if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. That takes time because you want to shop that around. You want to see what else is out there. You want to see really take your time in making the best decision at the age that he is with the production that he still is capable of having. You want to make sure that you find the right fit. The Rams believe that he is the right fit for them. And I do know that he loved being a part of this team last year, and his teammates just really loved him. So, I feel positive about something getting done with him and him ultimately being a Ram. But again, the player also has to do what's best for himself in this case.
Finally, Jordan, real quick. Somehow I missed my invitation to Sean McVay's wedding. It's going on right now, and I'm standing here. You're on a first-name basis with the coach. Where's your invitation?
I know I'm in the wrong tax bracket. I think between the mileage into I think Beverly Hills, and I don't even know if I drive the right vehicle to be accepted through the front gate. It's all good, Sean. I forgive you, man. It's all good.
Jourdan Rodrigue, thank you so much for joining us. You do fantastic work with the Athletic. I love reading you, and please come on our show again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Staying on the side.